Hey out there, this is Friday, May 17th, 2019, and it is just about 13 minutes past 11 in the morning here in Northern California. Funny story, I must have had the microphone off or something else wasn't connected properly, but I made three tapes, 120 minutes approximately, 123 minutes or so. I was afraid all three tapes were without sound, but it turned out to be only the first one, so I'm remaking the first tape so that there's some audio. But you learn to take these things in stride. But I lost my entire pontification period, and I wanted the theme to be talking about the nonsensical nature of this so-called reality that's been shoved down our throats from birth. And instead of trying to rehash what I try to remember, what I said for the first 41 minutes or so, I decided that I would just get into continuing with some of the thoughts from this last week or two. And but I'm going to title the video, coping with this paradoxical schism that's passed off as a reality, something to that effect, because it's tough. It's tough being human. And we've got a lot of forces pulling on us. We've got I want to talk about organic suffering that is inescapable. It's something that's like in our DNA. It relates to death, the original sin, the fall of man, knowledge of good and evil. It relates to all the problems, the curse that befell the earth, and all the predator-prey paradigm, extreme temperature changes, natural disasters of every sort. Everything negative, in other words, that is across the board for all of us as humans we got to face. And yeah, there's room to complain about those things, but there's no room to blame other people. There's no room to blame God. This is something we have to deal with on our own. We have to take to God in prayer. But my complaint is for the artificial invented suffering that's imposed upon humanity. This is very grievous to my soul. And I want people to be empowered and understand our inextricable interconnectivity, that it's like science, it's osmotic, that we are interconnected, and that your welfare is my welfare is your welfare, his welfare is her welfare is his welfare, and on like that. We've really got to care about people, that this is love. But anyhow, like I said, I lost the 41 minutes of pontification, and I really don't want to try to recall everything I said, but you get the gist of what I wanted the theme to be, and of course I talk about a lot of different stuff, but I'll continue with the second tape where there is audio. I'm glad for that at least. I don't know what went wrong. I thought I had the microphone on. It might have been just a loose connection for the first tape. I don't know, but I can see, because I can check the sound, and it's showing that I'm getting audio now. In fact, I think I'll just make a quick check because it's got me a little on edge here. Yeah, I've got audio now, so I have no idea what happened. It'll remain a mystery, I suppose. But listen, folks, we've got to care about each other. We care about ourselves. That's normal. That's natural to be selfish. And the way to do that most effectively is by caring about other people and wanting the best for people. It's all very simple to understand God's will for us. All those same things you want for yourself and your family and your friends, simply want for everybody else. And you're on the right track. It's not hard to please God. Like it's written, his yoke is easy, his load is light. And we've got to understand that fact, that the best way to get through this life successfully is to please other people, because ultimately this will please ourselves and this will please God. And it's what must be done to live a successful life. Boy, I am going to remember to check my audio before I start anymore. This is something that I'm not going to let repeat itself. It's annoying as heck, you know. You talk, you really try to do your best, and then you're just peeing in the wind, so to speak, right? But I know I talked about the need for a man to have a beloved, and a woman too, I suppose. I can't really speak rightfully for women, but I think it's critical to have a beloved or to seek a beloved. And men in particular, I just don't think can be right. They need it. They absolutely need a sweetheart. They need it. There's no way they can ever feel whole or be content without a beloved by their side, and to go through life with, to go through eternity with, to share their life with. So I know I talk quite a bit about that. Okay, well, I'm going to continue here where I left off with my thoughts from this previous week or so. While loving oneself is indeed a good thing, as long as it is tempered with humility, it is an attractive quality. However, being in love with oneself is narcissistic and conceited, and is an unattractive quality. It is a fact that we live in a world, a realm rife with sadness induced by madmen, verifiable simply by watching the news. Whenever a human being is enchained, they are miserable. The fact is that we are born enchained from birth. Until we are completely free from the money masters of misery, we are not free. Yeah, freedom is an absolute term. And you can't be both beholden and free at the same time. But yet we're all told because you're born in America that you're free. Well, unless you're born without a cost of living, you're not free. Not only is the male-female paradigm replete through the Earth's fauna, but it is even replete within the Earth's flora. Of course, there's always exceptions. There's hermaphrodites, there's self-fruitful trees and plants, and there's about 1 out of every 2,000 people is born with both male and female genitalia. Surprisingly enough, that seems like a pretty high figure. Although we've been trained to believe that in order to be happy, we must seek to attain success through monetary freedom and security. Basically, making gobs of dough is the best path to happiness. But the fact remains that there are countless people that are satisfied, happy with relatively little. The trick is being willing to allow others to have at least that little bit of monetary freedom and security. There are no valid arguments not to allow that. Right, the things you want for yourself and your loved ones, simply want for others. And it's all going to be okay. Here I've got a poem I titled Side by Side. There they stood side by side, the girl of my dreams, offering me the opportunity for her hand on one side, and on the other side, countless new cars of my choice. Any number of homes by the sea, an inexhaustible bank account, among any and other worldly treasures my heart desires. But there would be no contest side by side. I'd choose her hand in a millisecond. I got another poem. She must have a handbook to my soul. How could she know what I cannot resist? Why is she so irresistibly cute to me? How is it she precisely displays my exact idea of female perfection? Why does she seem to have complete control over my heart, my mind, my spirit, my body? There is only one answer that makes sense. God must have given her a handbook to my soul. Isn't it good simply to exist? Shouldn't we all be extremely thankful simply to exist? Especially, excuse me, in light of the alternative, not existing. How boring is that notion? A quick test to find out if you're evil. 1. Are you for ending poverty on Earth? 2. Would you be in favor of dramatically reducing commuter traffic? 3. Are you for dramatically lowering the number of abortions? 4. Are you in favor of abundant free public parking? 5. Are you in favor of dramatically reducing the vast majority of crime? 6. Are you in favor of seriously lowering taxes, including the tax of cost of living tax? 7. Are you in favor of a universal, absolute freedom for all humanity? 8. Are you in favor of humans asking, whose planet is this anyhow? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are evil. Our owner, the Creator God Almighty, obviously wants only the very best for her children. Wants us to be truly happy, content, safe, secure, prosperous, and free. After all, it's only logical to assume that truth about a loving Creator. Now contrast that with our collective experiences throughout history until this present time. Clearly there is something very wrong with this picture. Shouldn't we ask why? Then seek to permanently remedy our collective maladies? And the answer is yes. How your body and your car are very similar, physically and economically speaking. Like your car, your body was designed much like a machine with many parts integrated together to bring it to life. The difference is that one has biological life, the other has no biological life. Economically speaking, both need maintenance to continue to function properly and to last as long as possible. Now contrast that fact with the fact that while it is in your interest to be healthy, to achieve maximum longevity, it is not in the financial interests of society that you have longevity due to pension costs, nor is it in the interest of the media establishment that we remain healthy, since ill health is their business. I meant medical establishment, not media establishment, medical establishment. That's right. If you don't get diseases, then you don't end up going to the doctor, right? And in order for them to be relevant, your body has to get sick and break down and have diseases. So take care of your body, folks. Now consider the economics of your automobile. If you properly maintain your vehicle, you lessen the chances of it breaking down, requiring costly repairs. Furthermore, by taking care of your vehicle, it will last much longer than if you don't, thereby denying the ability of auto manufacturers to sell you a new vehicle. You understand that? A message to all those opposed to absolute universal freedom and security through prosperity.